أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربي يسر ولا تؤسر وتمم بالخير آمين يا رب العالمين. So today inshallah we will be doing the third lesson الدرس الثالث حروف الهجاء المركبة يعني حروف يعني the letters of the hijja al-murakkaba, the compound letters, or you can say the letters uh, in the joined form. So to begin with this lesson, most of the students they feel difficulty in identifying the letters when they are in the joint form. To make it easy, the beginners should know some most important fundamental things like ba will always have one dot and noon also has one dot. The difference between these two is ba will have a dot at the bottom and noon will have a dot at the top. So if you know the difference between these two letters, then it becomes very easy for the beginners who wants to learn the Qaida Nuraniya. Similarly, Jim, just a second. Similarly, Jim, Ha, and Wa. Out of these three letters, Jim will always have a dot in the center, yani the tummy of Jim. And Ha do not carry any dot, whereas Ha will have a dot always on the head or as a crown. This is to identify the letters easily. And then comes the two dot letters, letter Ta and letter Ya. A student should know that letter Ta always has two dots, carries two dots on it, whereas letter Ya carries dots down to it. Okay. Then there is one more question like Dal, Za. Dal and Za. There is a big difference between Dal and Za. Dal and Ra. Letter Dal will be a sharp curve, whereas letter Ra will not be a sharp curve. Dal will carry a sharp curve with the dot on it, whereas letter Ra, Za carries not a sharp curve, but on a dot at the top. Similarly, if we go for the three dot letters like letter Sa and letter Sheen, the shape of these two letters will be different, but the dots will be same. So these are some of the details that a student should know, that the difference between Ba and Noon, the difference between Jim, Ha and Ha, the basic shape of the letter is same, but the positioning of the dot is totally different. Similarly, letter Ta and Ya, the two dots make them distinct from each other. The two dots at the top is Ta and the two dots at the bottom is Ya. Dal, Zal, Dal, Zal. The two sharp curves and Ra, Za with no sharp curves, whereas Tha and Sheen. But the most important thing to remember to remember with respect to this lesson is there are about 5 letters which are curved letters which do not join to the following letter, like letter dal, letter dal, letter ra, za, wow. These are the 5 letters which will never join to the following letter. Yani they do not join with the following letter. Like if I have to write das, dal will stay separately. It do not join to the following letter. You cannot write it like this. This is not das. Similarly, like you may see students getting confused when it comes to joining of the letters. So a student can identify the joining letters with the help of the dots. With the help of the dots. Like here, if you're seeing one single dot at the bottom, you must know that it is letter ba, and this letter ba can join the following letter. Similarly, letter ya, 2 dots at the bottom, and when it is joining with the following letter, with the help of these 2 dots, a student can know that it is letter ya, this letter ba. And G, when you see a dot in the bottom or in the tummy, where the tummy is curved into and joined with letter dal, there you must be able to identify. If the dot is on the head of the letter, you should know it is ho. When the dot is at the bottom or in the tummy of the letter, then you should know it is jeen. It is jeen. And as you can see, letter dal, it is not joining to any letter, any following letter, I should say. So just by looking at the dots, ta, sheen, ta, sheen. What makes you say that the letter after ta is sheen? The shape of the letter makes you say that this letter is sheen. Look at the dot, ba, meen, ya, meen, noon. Ain, za, ain, za, seen, ra. Now, the most important thing, apart from these basic informations that you have to remember is this letter lam and alif. You have to know that alif, it cannot join with any letter. Yani you can join to alif. Yani alif can join hand with any letter which is standing before it. And you cannot say alif can join with any letter following it. Like this is not alif, this is lam. Alif can only join a letter which is standing before it. Alif can never join to any letter standing after it. This is very important for you to remember. Alif can join with the letter standing before it. It cannot join with the letter standing after it. So, with this short explanation, let's begin the third lesson of this قاعدة الذهبية. الدرس الثالث حروف الهجاء المركبة. مركبة itself means the compound letters or more than one letter. So if you can see, this is not alif, this is lam, lam, alif, lam, alif. This black letter is again lam, and this is alif. So these are the two forms of the same letter or same word, lam, alif, lam, alif. Then with the help of dot, ba, alif, ya, alif, jim, dal, ta, sheen, ba, mim, ya, mim, noon, ya, mim, noon. Go through the dots. Try identifying the letters with the help of the dots. And if you are remembering, these 5 letters will never join to the following letter. Yani the letter following it, they don't join. They can join the letter with the letter before. They can join with the letter before, but they cannot join to the letter after. No, they don't join with the letter after. So, Ain, Za, Sin, Ro, Ta, Ha, Fa, Fa, Ha, Jim, Ain, Ro, Ba, Fa, Mim, Fa, Mim, Ya, Fa, Waw, Ya, Fa, Waw. Circle your lips. Ta, Za, Ta, Za, Ha, Mim, Lam, Ta, Ain, Zal, Ta, Ain, Zal, Ya, Hamza, Ya, Hamza. Now, one more very important thing that you have to remember in this Qaida Zahabiyya or any other Qaida also, that Hamza can take 3 letters as its chair. Hamza can take 3 letters as its chair. What are those 3 letters? Waw, Ya, and Alif. Hamza can appear on Waw. Hamza can also appear on Ya. Hamza can also appear on Alif. These 3 letters are considered as the chairs of Hamza. Why do you think Hamza is coming on, Hamza is taking Waw as its chair? Why do you think Hamza is taking Ya as its chair? And why do you think Hamza is taking Alif as its chair? This is a very big topic. Inshallah, when we'll begin our Tajweed explanation classes, I will let you know. But for now, just remember, these are the 3 chairs of Hamza. These are the 3 chairs of Hamza, and of course it depends on the positioning of Hamza. If Hamza is at the first letter of the word, definitely it comes on Alif, and if it is appearing as the second letter or in the middle or at the end, it may come on Ya and Waw. Like if you're saying here, Hamza is the second letter, therefore it's on Waw. Hamza is the second letter, therefore it's on Ya. But when Hamza will be the first letter, yes, it will always come at the top of Alif. Then comes the most important thing. You may be thinking that why there is no chair here. Yes, Hamza can also appear on the Satar only when it is the last letter of the word. When it is the last letter of the word, it can appear on the Satar or on the line. This is something very common that a person should know before going through the understanding or before learning how to recite the Qaida Nuraniya. So, Ya Hamza, never pronounce it like wow. No, we will never be reading this letter which is acting as a chair of Hamza. No need of reciting it. No need of reciting or reading Alif. You have to see at the top Ya Hamza. Waw, Hamza. Hamza. Ha, dal. Hamza. Ha, dal. Ain, ba, Hamza. Ain, ba, Hamza. Ba, Hamza, Sin. Ba, Hamza, Sin. Ya, Sheen, Hamza. Ya, Sheen, Hamza. Dal, Fa, Ain. Dal, Fa, Ain. Ta, Ya, Noon. Ta, Ya, Noon. With the help of dots. Ta, Ya, Noon. So a child or the person who is trying to learn how to recite the Quran, the teacher who is teaching them should should let the child understand the concept of dots. The child or the student must know how to identify the letter based on the placement of dots and based on shapes, of course. So, ta, ya, noon, sheen, lam, kha, alif, ha, alif, hamza, kha. Remember, I told no need of reciting this alif. Hamza, kha, ghain, alif. Alif can join to the previous letter, but alif cannot join to the following letter. This you have to remember. Dad, ghain, ain, alif, za, alif, kaf, noon, ta, qaf, صاد, قاف, ظا, ha, sin, noon, ha, sin, noon, غين, ضاد, طاء, ألف, ميم, فا, لام, خا, طا, خا, طا. Then let's go further. ظا, قاف, ظا, قاف, صاد, ألف. Three letters which carry the dots. Ta, ya, qaf. Ta, ya, qaf. Dha, qaf. Sad, alif. Za, ain, mim. Za, ain, mim. Noon, za, ain, ra, ya, ha, kaf, alif. Qaf, the, fa. Never pronounce it like za. There must not be any buzzing sound for this letter since it is for Filathawiya. As I said you in the previous class, the tip of the tongue should touch the edges of the two top front incisors. So, qaf, the, fa, qaf. It is a heavy letter. Qaf, the, fa, the, ha, ba, kha, fa, dha, waw, qaf, ta, صاد, دال, فا, يا, ها, خا, نون, سين, شين, طا, را, با, خا, لا, لا, لام, 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 با, خا, لام, لام, ظا, يا. There may not be any dot on this letter, so you can pronounce it still just by looking at the shape. Lam, Dha, Ya, Mim, Kaf, Ta, Mim, Kaf, Ta. Then you have Noon, Ta, Ba, Ain, Noon, Ta, ba, ain, صاد دال قاف را با تا جيم دال قاف ظا يا كاف با را ha ha ha. Never pronounce it like ha ha. No need of hot air. You need to pronounce it like a normal ha 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 lam kaf. So let's go further. That's it. So just by remembering the letters and the positioning of the dots, you can easily identify and recite this lesson. But the thing, most important thing a student should remember is identification of the letters. Identification of the letters based on dots. And second thing a student should remember is the 5 curved letters dal, zal, ro, za, waw. These letters, they never join with the following letters. And even alif, if you can take it under the list, alif, dal, zal, you will never find this lab. You cannot say this is alif. No, this is lam. Alif never joins with any letter, any following letter. This is something that you have to remember. The third point that you have to remember is the positioning of Hamza. Hamza can take Alif as its chair, Waw as its chair, and Ya as its chair. And Hamza can also be at the line or at the satar. That can also happen. When Hamza will come take Alif as its chair when it is the first letter of the word, and when it is in the middle, it can appear on Waw or it can appear on Ya as its chair. But when it is the last letter, it can appear on the satar or on the line also. And then the most important thing, do not forget that all the heavy letters should be heavy in this letter. Fourth point is heavy letters should be heavy. Should be heavy. And try avoiding the exchange of letters, the letters which sound the same. The most important thing that you have to remember with respect to this chapter is the avoid exchange of letters. Like never pronounce fa like sheen and to like ta. These are the basic things that a student should avoid. And inshallah, let's continue in the next chapter how to recite the vowels. How many vowels are there and what are the vowels and what things should be considered before going with the lesson of vowels. Till then, uh, try practicing the letters and try identifying the letters based on the information given to you. See you next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi barakatuh.